My camera's going further. What the? Who are you?
While snapping photos of their kids playing in the woods, one picture sent chills down their spines. In the background, a pale humanoid figure stood eerily still, something no one had noticed in the moment. The hikers swore there was no one else around, and strangely, the figure didn't appear in any of the other photos taken just moments later. Rattled, they quickly called the kids back and left the area without looking back. To this day, they have no idea what they captured on camera, or who, or what, was watching from the trees. On March 3rd, 2023, in the quiet town of Mount Vernon, Georgia, a woman was casually snapping sunset photos of her brand new porch. At the time, everything seemed perfectly normal, but years later, while scrolling through those old pictures, her daughter spotted something bone-chilling. A shadowy figure standing silently on the porch. The home sits deep in Civil War territory, eerily nestled between two historic graveyards, Adams Cemetery and the Basil Connell Family Cemetery. Though there haven't been many reports of paranormal activity in the house, the woman admits to feeling unexplained cold spots from time to time. So, did she unknowingly capture a ghostly visitor from the past? A lone hiker was making his way through the forest late at night when something strange caught his eye. In the shadows ahead, a pale face emerged, its two glowing eyes locked onto him. He froze, heart pounding, unsure whether he was looking at an animal, a cryptid, or something far more terrifying. Even more unsettling, two additional glowing eyes seemed to flicker on the left side of the frame, never fully captured but there. Whatever was out there, it never stepped into the light. It simply watched, hidden in the darkness. While hiking a remote stretch of the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina, a lone hiker reached the summit expecting sweeping views, but stumbled upon something far more chilling. Hidden among the trees, they discovered an old, forgotten graveyard. Weathered headstones jutted from the earth with no signs, no fences, and no trace of it on any map. The hikers searched for answers but found nothing. No names, no history, no explanation. The eerie silence and cold mountain air clung to them, leaving behind a mystery and a memory they'd never shake. While getting ready to paraglide, something truly shocking happened.
No! Vente! ¡El pego! ¡El pego!
Just as the paraglider lifted off, their dog made a desperate attempt to follow, leaping and clinging onto the glider mid-launch. The dog didn't hold on for long and fell shortly after, but thankfully, it survived with no serious injuries. Still, the heart-stopping moment was caught on camera and quickly went viral. Online, viewers were outraged, slamming the owner for bringing a dog to such a dangerous location without a leash or any kind of safety precaution. A YouTuber recently shared footage from his trip to Gettysburg, and at first glance, everything seemed normal, except near the rocky area known as Devil's Den. But when he reviewed the video later, something strange caught his eye.
What's up, man? How you doing? Is it uncomfortable with people taking pictures and recording over here?
But as he walks away from the rocks, a shadowy figure briefly shifts behind a nearby boulder, just for a second. Some viewers believe this eerie glimpse could be more than just a trick of the light. Could it be one of the many spirits said to haunt Gettysburg's blood-soaked grounds? While camping in Texas, a family decided to check out a nearby haunted house, one that already had a dark reputation after someone reportedly died there years ago. Sitting safely in their car, they watched the eerie abandoned structure. But then, something chilling happened. They caught this on camera.
It's gonna go in your house. Dear, what's paranormal activity is under something. But it can't come out.
Whoa!
Out of nowhere, what appears to be a small hand reaches out from the window. Locals say ghostly figures of children are often seen peering from the windows and lurking near the doors of this house, fueling the belief that it's truly haunted. While tearing down a mountain biking trail at high speed, something terrifying nearly happened.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
This way. Do you have more? Behind you?
Say again?
Do you have more behind you?
No, but guys, I would not hike this trail.
We've hiked it many times.
There's too many blind corners here. There's spots where I can't stop. If I'd come around there, I wouldn't have been able to stop.
Yeah, is there people behind you?
No, but you guys gotta be careful.
Sorry about that.
The biker had narrowly avoided crashing into two hikers and their dog. It was a heart-pounding close call, a stark reminder of the hidden dangers on shared trails. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but just a few seconds difference, and this could have ended in disaster. While hiking through a ravine with his dog, a man suddenly heard eerie noises echoing from a nearby gutter. Curious yet unsettled, he pulled out his phone and began recording. The distorted sound sent a chill down his spine. Fighting the urge to investigate, he chose instead to put distance between himself and the unsettling whispers. Hours later, when he returned to the same spot, the noises had vanished, replaced by an eerie, unnatural silence. A man went camping deep in the woods, just him and his loyal dog. But one evening, without warning, the dog bolted into the trees. Thinking it'd be a quick recovery, he followed the trail, not realizing he was heading straight into a nightmare.
Lucy! Good doggy, where are you? Lucy! The hell?
But the forest answered with silence until something else did. Help. He froze. That voice didn't sound right. It wasn't his dog, and it wasn't human. Still nothing. Then, crack. A branch snapped nearby. He spun around, heart pounding. His hands fumbled with his camera, but it was glitching, flickering on and off. He turned, and there it was.
Huh? My camera's going further. What the? Who? Who are you? I'm not scared of you anymore!
A pale figure standing silently between the trees. It didn't move. It didn't blink. It just watched. He wasn't alone anymore, and whatever was watching him wasn't something he could reason with. Whether he ever found Lucy remains a mystery. At 2 a.m. in a high-rise tower in Brazil, a Reddit user stepped out onto the patio to snap a photo of the glowing city lights in the distance. At first glance, the image seemed ordinary until he looked closer. On the left, he saw his own shadow, just as expected. But on the right, there was something else. A second shadow, smaller, human-shaped, like a child, just standing there. He was alone. The ground was flat. No trees, no statues, nothing that could explain it. He even ran the photo through AI tools, trying to debunk it, filter it, and explain it away. But that shadow wouldn't disappear. It looked real, and it wasn't his. The owner of this trail cam had no idea what he was about to capture. On a remote, unnamed path, his camera recorded something deeply unsettling. Confused and creeped out, he uploaded the footage online, hoping someone could explain what he'd seen. The eerie figure remains unidentified and terrifying. In the heart of Africa, a seasoned honey harvester scaled a towering tree, clutching a basket of smoldering leaves to smoke out the bees, a trick he'd used countless times. But just as he reached the hive, disaster struck. The smoke basket slipped from his grasp and tumbled onto the ground below. Within seconds, the bees turned hostile. With no smoke to calm them, they launched a full-scale attack. Swarmed and stung from every angle, the man had no choice but to make a frantic descent. Each step down the tree was a fight against pain and panic, every sting pushing him closer to the edge. It must have felt like an endless nightmare, clinging to the bark, unsure if he'd fall first or pass out for the pain. Hopefully, he made a swift recovery from the terrifying ordeal. While hiking along a quiet roadside trail, a group of friends stumbled upon a startling sight. Dozens of snakes sprawled out beside the pavement, but they weren't there to scare anyone. The snakes were simply soaking up the warmth from the sun-baked road. Acting quickly and calmly, one fearless hiker stepped up, gently moving the snakes out of harm's way to protect them and any unsuspecting travelers from danger. Thanks to his brave actions, everyone, both human and reptile, made it through unharmed. It was Halloween night when someone stepped outside for some fresh air, casually staring up at the sky. That's when they saw it. A V-shaped formation of bright, blinking lights darting across the stars. No sound, no clear shape, just those glowing orbs slicing through the darkness, faster than any plane they'd ever seen. Startled, they pulled out their phone and managed to record a few seconds. Ever since, people had debated what it was. Military tech, high-end drones, maybe even a trick of the light. But to the person who saw it, there was no doubt in their mind. That was a UFO. Late one night, while wandering outside, someone spotted something bizarre in the sky.
I had a better camera. Do you have a good camera?
Not really.
Look at this. My camera sucks.
Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Yeah, unless I go far away.
Here, try to stay still and push on the parts that aren't dark. Try to adjust to the light.
Dude, that shit is fucking tripping me out.
It wasn't just a quick flash. It lingered, glowing like fire frozen in midair, casting an eerie, otherworldly light across the ground. Some claim it was nothing more than military flares from a nighttime training exercise, but the way it hung there, so still and unnatural, didn't feel normal at all. Two friends were driving through the mountains late at night, searching for a spot to camp. The road was dark, quiet and empty, until it wasn't. As they filmed the eerie path ahead, their camera picked up something they never expected. Out of nowhere, a tall figure in a flowing red robe appeared, standing perfectly still in the middle of the road. No movement, no sound, just watching. They were miles from the nearest town, deep in the wilderness. The figure was unnaturally tall, too tall, and its clothing didn't look like anything a normal person would wear out there. Rattled to their core, the guys sped off, putting as much distance as possible between them and whatever that was. To this day, they have no idea who or what they saw. A hiker recently stumbled upon a bizarre creature in the wild and posted a video on Reddit, hoping someone could figure out what it was. At first, it looked like a tiny bird just standing there, not doing much. But as the camera crept closer, the bird suddenly puffed up and transformed into something way bigger, and honestly, kind of intimidating. Turns out, it was an American bittern, a type of heron with next-level camouflage skills. When it feels threatened, it flares out its feathers and stretches its neck sky-high, mimicking the look of tall grass to scare off predators and blend right into its surroundings. Nature's got some serious tricks up its sleeve.
Before we jump into the next encounter, I just want to take a moment to thank and congratulate all of you. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are working harder than ever to bring you the scariest and most entertaining hiking encounters out there. Our goal? To take this channel to the top, and nothing's gonna stop us. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and enjoy the rest of the show. When we hit 10,000, a few lucky subscribers will get a surprise. Just make sure you're subscribed and have liked the video. Want a better chance to win? Drop a comment with your thoughts on the clips. Now let's dive back into the video.
Mate.
This gripping story comes from the YouTube channel Mooch, where creator David documents his daring adventures through the haunting world of urban exploration. From forgotten factories to decaying hospitals, David has seen it all. But in this particular video, he and his friend Felix push the boundaries even further by planning to spend the night inside a derelict manor house abandoned for over 30 years. At first, everything goes smoothly. It's March 6th, 2015. The duo quietly slips into the crumbling mansion undetected. Dust dances in the shafts of sunlight piercing through broken windows, and silence clings to the empty halls. They begin filming, soaking in the eerie stillness. But that silence doesn't last long. A voice echoes from outside.
We did say we'd climb over, but the gentleman said not to bother in case we hurt ourselves. This is where I get castrated.
At first, it's hard to make out the words, but the message becomes crystal clear. They've been spotted. Instead of panicking, David and Felix decide to stay calm and confront whoever's outside. Maybe it's just a curious local. Maybe they can explain. But as they step out of the shadows and into the daylight, things take a sharp and unsettling turn. That's how the confrontation begins.
Buildings, take photographs. We've got no criminal intentions. We can see this stuff. You know, I've been to places. places where, you know.
It looks to me it's aircraft and stuff. It's just the building you're interested in.
Yeah, and like, you know, the inside, just like all the old.
Can you search my friend under section 1 of completing criminal evidence?
Yeah, sure, no problem, buddy.
You got anything on you shouldn't have?
No.
Anything silly, like?
No, don't do.
Weapons, any tools?
Nope. Driver piece. Driver piece. I've got lots of sugar in there because we had there was a ball in here, so I bought some sugar in case the ball came over to feed him.
Okay.
That was it.
Go ahead.
Been in there. Needs a lick of paint.
What was your old address?
Sorry?
What's your old address?
My old address.
The man is furious. He accuses them of trespassing, of damaging his fence, even of ruining his Saturday morning. David and Felix try to de-escalate, reassuring him that they're only there to take photographs. No harm meant, no break-ins, no theft. Just two explorers documenting the beauty of decay. But the man isn't having it.
It's just the one car. Yeah. Felix lives in London. I live down in Kent, so I'll drive up from Kent. Yeah. I'm driven further. You know, all we're doing, mate, is take photos, you know what I mean? But I can understand, you know, I was speaking to a young lady who came here a few months ago, I think, and she said, "Oh, just be aware of the owner." How comes there's so many of you then turned up? It's like the cavalry. Oh, right.
He rages on, claiming the police are already on their way. His aggression doesn't just seem like anger, it feels like fear, as if he's not just upset by their presence, but terrified of what they might find. David keeps his cool. He stays respectful, calm, polite. But deep down, both he and Felix realize they've probably overstayed their welcome. They were planning to camp inside that night. Had they been caught later, after retrieving their gear, it could have ended a lot worse. Then the police arrive. David and Felix are cuffed. Despite the tension, the officers remain professional. David explains everything. They're explorers, not criminals. They didn't break in. They didn't steal anything. All they took were photos. The officers listen. The truth comes out. Yes, the landowner claimed they were attempting robbery.
Will do. I know. Yeah. Have you ever been arrested ever in your life?
God, when I was a kid.
Right, okay, it's probably a long time ago and things have probably changed, okay?
Yeah.
The reason we need to get you in there is because we can't talk about it here.
Okay.
And believe it or not, it's for your rights and entitlements as well, so things are done legally.
Right.
Okay, so you are entitled to certain rights, one of those being a solicitor.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know what you're doing here, and it's not my job to ask you here and now.
Yeah.
It's to ask you in a tape recorded interview.
Okay.
Okay? Come on.
It's only that one, it's a tiny bit tight. We're not here to cause any trouble, mate. We're sorry to bother you, mate. You know what I mean? We're only taking photos. I'll show you something when we get back down in it.
But there was no evidence, no intent. In the UK, simple trespassing is a civil offense, not a criminal one, unless property is damaged or someone refuses to leave. After questioning at the station, all charges are dropped. In the end, it was a tense but harmless brush with the law. But it could have been much worse. Had they stayed the night or been caught deeper inside the house, the situation might have spiraled. This experience became more than just a story. It became a reminder. In the world of urban exploration, unpredictability is the only guarantee. No matter how well you plan, the unknown always finds a way in. David and Felix were lucky. Let's just hope that luck doesn't run out next time. While hiking near the railroad tracks in Mission Park, San Antonio, a man snapped a quick photo, but what he saw later left him speechless. When he reviewed the image, two mysterious figures appeared in the distance, standing eerily still. Locals have long whispered tales of ghostly children who push stalled cars off the tracks, but this was something entirely different. Confused and unsettled, unsure if he'd captured a trick of the light or something truly supernatural, he posted the photo online, and the internet hasn't stopped talking about it since. On October 27, 2024, a man exploring an abandoned railway station stumbled upon something bone-chilling.
रात के 12 बज रहे हैं और आप लोग देख सकते हैं दूर दूर तो कोई नज़र नहीं आ रहा। इस रेलवे स्टेशन पे नज़र आ रही तो सिर्फ वो औरत यहाँ पे देख सकते हो। भाई रात के 12 बजे ये औरत यहाँ पे क्या कर रही है? जैसा लोग बोलते थे कि भाई ये औरत नहीं, ये औरत की आत्मा है जो कि ट्रेन के आने का इंतज़ार करती रहते हैं और यहाँ ट्रेन निकलेगी उसके पीछे ही जाती है, पता नहीं क्या करना चाहती है। कई सारे लोगों को
Sitting motionless on a weathered bench was a pale woman, silent, eerily still. At first, he thought she was just another lost soul, until she vanished. When he glanced down to check his camera, she was right there. But when he looked up again, the bench was empty, gone. He swears she wasn't human, but a restless spirit trapped in time, forever waiting for trains that will never return. Locals believe she's the reason no one dares set foot there after dark, and now so does he. In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason, who runs the channel Appy Mountain Trekkers, uploaded what initially seemed like a routine video, a solo overnight camping trip deep in the mountains. Jason's channel is all about the great outdoors, hiking, camping, and surviving off the land. Most of his uploads are peaceful, almost therapeutic. But this video, it took a chilling turn. The hike up was uneventful. Jason cheerfully filmed himself pitching his tent and starting a campfire as the sun dipped behind the trees.
Figured I'd take a break. Got about 3 hours of daylight left.
While waiting for nightfall, he tried his hand at spoon carving, a quiet, relaxing activity. But as the forest darkened, things began to feel off. That's when he first heard it, a strange sound echoing from the mountaintop.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side and it goes up to a higher ridge on this backside, and it sounded like it come from over there.
He brushed it off as a bird or maybe a small animal, but he admitted later it gave him pause. By 9 p.m., Jason turned off the camera and climbed into his tent for the night. But less than an hour later, something woke him up. A sound. Not just any sound, something guttural, unnatural. Hours passed. Then, around 1 a.m., he was awakened again, this time not by a distant call, but by the unmistakable sound of something circling his tent.
It's about 1 o'clock. I woke up again. I heard something circling my camp. Hear that?
As Jason swept his flashlight across the trees, you can just barely make out something in the bottom left corner of the screen. 2 glowing sets of eyes reflecting in the beam. They're low to the ground, unmoving, watching. While many animals' eyes reflect light at night, The sharp, fiery white glow suggests these could have belonged to wolves or coyotes. Domesticated dogs also produce white reflections, but the odds of a pet wandering the mountains at 1 a.m. are slim. If these were coyotes or wolves, especially if they had pups nearby, Jason was in danger. But here's the chilling part. Jason doesn't seem to notice the eyes at all. He never comments on them, never zooms in. He simply scans the area, then retreats into his tent and somehow manages to sleep through the night. The next morning, he filmed a short update before heading back down the mountain, but not once did he mention the eyes his camera had caught watching him. To this day, there has been no follow-up on the incident, no explanation, just one eerie video, and a sense that Jason might not have been alone out there in the woods. Lewis, Clark, and their friends thought exploring an old abandoned train hidden deep within the forest would be fun. Most of the train cars were empty, silent, and eerie, but nothing too unusual. That is, until they reached the caboose. Inside, the air felt heavier. The sheets covering the benches were stained with dark red spots. Something large, something unnaturally heavy, was hidden beneath one of them.
Alright, then we'll come, let's go. What is that? What? What the fuck? Oh my god. Just go. Just get the fuck out of here. Yeah, we need to get out. Fucking go. Go. That shit. Go. Come on. Fuck. Ugh. There's mud everywhere, Ant. Wait, is that a body? We need to call the police, mate. We need to. Oh my god, this has happened before, but this has happened. Ow, wait, my fucking head. Mate. I'm fucking wrong,
No one dared to lift the sheet. They bolted, even leaping over another blood-stained cover on their way out, hearts pounding. To this day, no one knows what was under those sheets. Some say it was a body, others think it was something even worse. But one thing's certain, Lewis and his friends never went back. Rody runs a YouTube channel often documenting his adventures traveling across the country and sleeping in his truck. His videos usually highlight the peaceful side of nomadic life, stunning nature shots, the freedom of the open road, and self-reliance. But one particular upload from December 2017 took a much darker turn. The footage came from an unsettling experience earlier that year, while Rody was car camping in a quiet parking lot around 1:30 a.m. Out of nowhere, a hooded man appeared and began circling his truck, snapping photos of the license plates.
30 in the morning when I heard someone walking around my truck, and whenever you're sleeping, somewhere public and you hear somebody walking around outside your truck, it's always a little bit alarming. So what you'll see here in a second, he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures. It looks like of my license plate or something like that. I'm not sure why he was doing this. So I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to park there and he was taking pictures of my license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning. And he didn't look like a security guard or anything like that. Also, some of you may be wondering why he's not able to see me in the back. And where I was parked, the street light shined into the cab, but the camper shell has really tinted windows, so it was pitch black in the back where I was. So after he'd done a few laps around my truck, and I could tell it looks like he's up to no good, he comes back around and tries to shine his flashlight into the back of my camper shell. You'll see here in a second. And I just bang on the window, and he takes off running. So he probably wasn't expecting that.
Since the back of the truck, where Rody was sleeping, was pitch black, the man likely assumed it was empty. Completely unaware he was being recorded, the stranger lingered around the vehicle, acting suspiciously for several minutes. Eventually, he crept up to the side and shined a flashlight through the windows, possibly trying to see inside. That's when Rody made his move. With a loud bang on the inside of the truck, he startled the man, who immediately bolted into the night. It's unclear what his intentions were, but given his behavior, it's not far-fetched to think he may have been planning a carjacking or worse. Thankfully, Rhodey acted quickly, avoided a potentially dangerous situation, and found somewhere safer to spend the rest of the night.
Shit.
While hiking, this person used Randonautica, and that's when things got strange. About 5 seconds into the footage, there's a chilling moment.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Unless there's someone out on that trail right there, I don't know what the fuck that is. Another Montana's thing.
Look through the mirror, this sounds like a walkie-talkie.
A voice, barely audible, seems to whisper, "Do you wanna?" But here's the weird part: it came from deep within the woods on the left, while the only visible trail was on the right. No one was supposed to be over there. And then, right as this person begins to speak, their voice distorts. It glitches out in a way that doesn't quite sound like a normal audio malfunction. Was it just a technical glitch, or something else? Who or what was out there making that sound? Deep in the remote stretches of the Appalachian Mountains, a woman named Morgan documents her eerie, unexplained encounters. She regularly shares her experiences online. In one video, Morgan films herself exploring her family's notoriously haunted farm. Suddenly, she hears something.
Hey y'all, I'm at my family's haunted farm. I was gonna come explore with my husband today, but he couldn't get off from work because he's boring, so thought I'd bring you guys.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, it's faint, human, familiar, but something's off. It's the Appalachian, hey, a strange and unsettling phenomenon, where something deep in the woods mimics human voices. Locals believe these are mimics, supernatural entities that take on the voices and sometimes the appearances of people you trust. And in Morgan's case, they may already have. For over a century, Green Gables in Jennertown, Pennsylvania has been more than just a fine dining destination. It's also been the source of chilling ghost stories. With a long-standing reputation for being haunted, the eerie atmosphere has left more than a few employees on edge. One worker, feeling uneasy during late-night shifts, took to recording their surroundings, just in case. One night, their gut feeling proved terrifyingly accurate. Recording their surroundings, just in case. One night, their gut feeling proved terrifyingly accurate.
I don't know, I think this is where they have their weddings. There's a building. You can't really see it. There's a building over here. It's really old looking. I have no idea what it is. Oh, fabulous. So there's a fucking statue in the middle of this field. It's just a wide open field with a statue. Really big statue out here in the middle of this field. Pretty fucking creepy if you ask me. It is also raining. Yeah. Ooh, I do not like that. Some kind of a Greek looking thing, maybe? I don't fucking know. Its face is missing, so that's comforting. I don't know why its face is missing. Looks like it had a face at some point in time. It came off for some reason. And some vines crawling up it.
The camera captured something no one expected. A dark, shadowy hand brushing across a statue's waist, too far, too defined to be a trick of the light. Could it be a hoax? Maybe. But that footage still leaves us asking one question. Was it real, or something else entirely? Adam was out hiking with his dad, but for a brief moment, he found himself alone on the trail. That's when it happened. A man passed him, completely out of place. He looked like he'd walked straight out of the 1980s. Full suit, slicked back hair, not a single word, just this eerie vibe. Then he saw it.
I'm not even kidding. Passed someone on the trail, like a guy. He looked like he was like from the 80s. He was wearing a full suit that like looked like he was from the 80s, and I was like, ew, I don't like that. I got a weird vibe from him. And look at what I just found. Is this not like terrifying? Should I open it?
A briefcase, sitting right where the man had been. No explanation, no note. Just there. Should I open it? He whispered, both curious and unnerved. He did. Inside was only a single item, an old weathered map dated 1989. That's it. Nothing else. But the strangest part? The man in the suit hadn't left. He was still nearby, silently watching from the trees. Was he a time traveler? A ghost? Or something even stranger? Cody had lived on his property for 22 years when he discovered a strange, dead patch of grass that sank under his mower. Curious, he dug into it and found a hidden door leading to a deep, water-filled hole, possibly an old well or storm cellar.
It's some kind of door. I've been here 22 years and this has never been here before. So I really don't know what to think about it. But about 1944 there was a old cabin here that burnt down, and it may be some kind of well or a storm cellar or something. I may dig it up if enough people show any kind of interest.
Using a 15-foot conduit stick, he couldn't touch the bottom. That night, strange noises came from beneath his house. When he investigated with a camera, what he recorded was not just eerie, it was terrifying. A group of friends had rented a remote cabin deep in the Appalachian mountains for a peaceful weekend getaway. Surrounded by endless, shadowy woods, the spot felt like a perfect escape. One night, as they soaked in the hot tub beneath a glowing moon, a low, thunderous sound echoed from somewhere deep in the forest.
Yeah, that was a car, Who's the aliens, bro? I think it's a train.
Es que porque suena así a la verga.
But that's just scary. Okay, do you guys want to go inside?
No. Es que siempre no va a pasar nada, pero...
But the music and laughter quickly faded into nervous silence. Something about that sound wasn't right. Unbeknownst to them, the Appalachian woods have a long, chilling history. Mysterious vanishings, strange figures spotted between the trees, stories that locals don't like to tell after dark. Thankfully, the group left the hot tub and returned inside without incident. But that night, it still haunts their memories. One quiet evening, a man was lounging on his couch when he noticed something strange peering at him through the screen door. At first glance, he figured it might be a cow or maybe a goat. But the longer he stared, the less sense it made. The creature had no ears, its posture was all wrong. Its front half stood upright, while the back looked bent and tucked beneath it, almost as if it were kneeling. To this day, no one knows what it was, or what it wanted. This home security footage from deep in Appalachia caught something strange. And trust us, you'll want to watch it more than once.
Yeah, because... curious. Oh my goodness. You see the legs on that sucker? Girl, what?
It's a
Are
hornet.
You no,
it's a hornet.
When did hornets start looking like
Look
that?
at that.
That is not no hornet, and a hornet where?
Okay. It's just...
At first, they thought it was just a hornet, but the way it moved, The shape, the shimmer, something wasn't adding up. A hornet? In broad daylight? That ain't no hornet, her friend insists. Whatever it was flew by fast, small, oddly shaped, and almost magical. Was it just an unusual bug? Or did this camera accidentally catch a glimpse of something? A hiker was making their way up Gettysburg's big round top trail, enjoying the peaceful, history-soaked path. Everything felt normal until they reached the final stone wall at the summit. That's when it started. Footsteps echoed around them, matching their own pace, then stopping dead whenever they did. At first, they shrugged it off, thinking it was just sound bouncing off the rocks. But when they later checked their camera, things got even stranger. Nearly every photo was blurry, despite the camera being held steady. One image even showed a strange, shadowy figure near the wall, yet in the next picture, taken just seconds later, it was gone. Maybe it was just a trick of the light, or maybe it was something else. A group of teenagers was exploring an old, abandoned theater when they suddenly stopped in their tracks. Standing perfectly still in the shadows was a girl, silent, unmoving, and staring straight at them. For a moment, no one knew what to do. The air felt heavy. One teen cautiously stepped forward. That's when they realized she wasn't trying to scare them. She frightened herself. It looked like she had been living there, using the forgotten theater as a place to sleep. Their presence must have jolted her from a fragile peace. The moment was sobering. It wasn't a ghost story. It was real life. A young girl, alone and afraid, just trying to survive in the dark. Hopefully, she finds the help she needs because no one deserves to live in fear and silence. A man was out making late-night deliveries when something strange caught his eye by the side of the road. There, on a swing, sat a small child gently swaying back and forth in the darkness. It didn't make sense. There were no houses nearby, no lights, no reason for a kid to be out here, especially at this hour. Pulling over for a closer look. But as he stepped out of the vehicle and turned back to the swing, the child was gone. The swing still moved, creaking softly like someone had just been there. Then the air turned cold. Was it a ghost? A lost child? Or something else entirely? The man didn't wait to find out. Shaken and unnerved, he jumped back into his van and sped off into the night. While on patrol near a quiet residential area in Tennessee, a police officer snapped a chilling photo that still baffles investigators to this day. The eerie figure captured in the image bore a striking resemblance to the infamous Fresno Nightcrawler, but with a twist. It appeared thicker, almost cartoonishly exaggerated in shape, unlike anything seen before. Despite numerous attempts to uncover its origin or connect it to other sightings, the mystery remains unsolved, leaving behind nothing but speculation and a haunting image no one can explain. Dan Bell paid a visit to an abandoned children's asylum, and from the moment he stepped inside, things took a dark and unexpected turn. Right off the bat, his camera battery exploded in his hands.
Shit.
But Dan, unfazed, kept filming. What his camera captured next was even more unsettling. Eerie, unexplained moments he didn't notice until reviewing the footage later. In one shot, a shadowy figure seemed to glide past a doorway. In another, an eye appeared to peek through a hole in the door, only to vanish in an instant. Then came the most chilling moment of all, a voice echoing from an empty room. Some viewers claim they heard the voice say, "Let's get him." He explained that while filming, he kept hearing the sound of something or someone running around nearby. It sounded like a person. Of course, he tried to stay rational, brushing it off as maybe an animal. But whatever the cause, it's hard to shake the feeling that something else was in that asylum with him. While trekking through the woods, a group of adventurers stumbled upon an abandoned GoPro, its owner nowhere in sight. Intrigued, they played back the footage only to be shaken by what they uncovered. The final moments showed a group of unknown explorers, their expressions shifting from excitement to pure terror. In the background, a shadowy, unnerving figure loomed, watching them. Then, without warning, the footage cut to black. Despite efforts to identify the people in the video, their identities remain a mystery. Were they just lost tourists? Or does this eerie recording capture the final moments of a group that was never meant to be found?
Hiking is supposed to be an escape to fresh air, scenic trails, and the beauty of nature. But sometimes, the wilderness holds secrets that defy explanation. From eerie figures lurking in the trees to ghostly whispers caught on tape, these hikers stumbled upon something not of this world. Welcome to Dare to Watch. In the early hours of November 13th, 2023, a camper sat in bed at 3:25 a.m., engrossed in a game of bingo on their laptop. The quiet of the night was suddenly interrupted by a faint, chilling sound from outside. At first, it was barely noticeable, but then it became unmistakable. The eerie neigh of a horse echoing across the empty campsite. The land had once been an old horse farm, long abandoned, but its ghostly presence still lingered. Gripped by curiosity, the camper grabbed their phone and began recording. Just then, a white figure emerged from the darkness, an apparition that sent shivers down their spine. Though this wasn't their first unsettling experience at the infamous farmhouse, a place notorious for paranormal activity, it was the first time they had captured something truly spine-chilling on camera. While exploring Taney, a Reddit user had an eerie experience that still haunts him. During a break in a pine forest on Mount T, he wandered off alone to record the serene surroundings. But as he sat there, lost in the moment, a chilling whisper brushed against his ear, despite no one being nearby. Later, when he reviewed the footage, his heart nearly stopped. Faint but unmistakable, a woman's voice could be heard in the recording. The unsettling discovery left him shaken, questioning whether there was a logical explanation, or if something far more paranormal had just made contact. As he drove down an old abandoned road toward his campsite, a chill ran down his spine. Up ahead, something eerie caught his eye. A shadowy figure in a flowing white dress crossing the road. His heart pounded as he slammed the brakes. Who or what was that? Curiosity got the best of him. Stepping out of his car into the pitch-black night, he scanned the surroundings. But there was nothing, just silence and darkness. If it was a person, why were they wandering alone in the middle of the forest at this hour? And if it wasn't, then what had he just seen? While walking near the woods with his friends, Mangal Mura Singh stumbled upon something deeply unsettling, and they captured it all on camera. An old woman was creeping toward them, her movements unnervingly slow, her glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. She didn't look like an ordinary person, yet the way the group shouted at each other made it seem like they weren't entirely convinced of the danger. Still, there was something about her, something deeply wrong, that sent a chill down their spines. While hiking through the remote landscapes of Norway, a man stumbled upon something unexpected, an old abandoned house hidden deep in the wilderness. Curiosity got the best of him, and as he stepped inside, he was shocked to find the lights still working. As he cautiously explored the dark, eerie interior, he suddenly froze. Something was watching him. A mysterious figure loomed in the shadows, its gaze locked onto him. Panic set in, and in his frantic attempt to escape, he lost his balance and tumbled down the stairs. The video cuts off abruptly, leaving the chilling encounter unresolved. Was this something paranormal? Or was there a logical explanation lurking? A dog frozen mid-run, as if time had stopped. With no owner in sight, he pulled out his phone and captured the eerie moment, sparking wild speculation online. Some believed it was proof of the paranormal, even suggesting a skinwalker encounter. Others pointed out that certain dog breeds instinctively freeze and point when sensing something nearby. Eventually, the hiker learned the truth. The dog's owner had called it from a distance, and it had simply turned back. Yet, even after knowing the explanation, he couldn't shake the unsettling feeling of how unnaturally still the dog had remained, even as he got closer. While exploring the infamous Mercer Cemetery in Utah, known for its eerie paranormal activity, Reddit user RT Lance captured something truly chilling. Snapping multiple photos during the visit, one image stood out. A mysterious hand-like figure appearing near the grave of a well-known little girl. Strangely, the anomaly went completely unnoticed until the next day. Mercer Cemetery has long been a hotspot for ghostly encounters, and this discovery only deepens its unsettling reputation. Paranormal enthusiasts speculate that the apparition could be a lingering spirit tied to the location. Some even claim they can make out the faint figure of a little girl in the right corner behind the fence. But look closely. Do you see anything? Late one night, a man was driving home from hiking when his route took him past an old cemetery. At first, he thought a small crowd had gathered there for some reason. But as he got closer, he realized they were carrying something like an old-fashioned coffin, the kind no one uses anymore. The clock had just struck midnight, and the group moved with an eerie, almost unnatural slowness. Despite his headlights flooding the area with light, not a single one of them acknowledged his presence. There was something deeply unsettling about the scene, something that still haunts him to this day. What did he witness that stumbled upon something unsettling during one of his hikes tucked inside a hollow tree was a strange little figurine, something he could only describe as tied to voodoo or the occult. Intrigued, he took it home, but his curiosity quickly turned to concern when fellow Redditors warned him to return it immediately. Why would anyone bring home an object like that without knowing its history, or what it might be capable of? One day, as he reviewed the footage, his heart nearly stopped. A towering, furry, bipedal figure was strolling near the fence in broad daylight. Even more chilling, it showed up at the same time every day. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, the man finally confronted it, shouting for the creature to reveal itself. But the moment his voice rang out, it turned and bolted. Moving so fast, there was no way it was human. Though it was never seen again, the strange occurrences on the property didn't stop. Was it a trick of the mind? Or did he truly witness something beyond explanation? Some mysteries, it seems, are never meant to be solved. Reddit user ElwoodMC was trekking through the deep woods when they stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. A Michael Myers mask eerily hanging from a tree trunk. The infamous face of horror, staring blankly into the wilderness, looked like it had been placed there on purpose. Was it just a twisted prank, or did it serve a more sinister purpose? Either way, discovering it in such a remote location sent chills down their spine. TikTok user TheMostMandy was left rattled after reviewing security footage from her remote cabin in the woods. In the chilling clip, a woman dressed in white appeared out of nowhere, her voice unsettling as she repeatedly asked to be let inside. Living deep in the forest with almost no neighbors, Mandy was horrified who would be wandering around in the dead of night, dressed like that, speaking in such an eerie tone. After that night, the mysterious woman was never seen again. While strolling through a quiet cemetery, a couple captured a spine-chilling photo that still haunts them. In the eerie image, a shadowy figure resembling an old woman appears to be sitting on a bench near a grave. They swore they were alone, yet both felt an unnerving presence as if unseen eyes were watching their every move. When they later examined the photo, the mysterious figure sent shivers down their spines. Could it be the lingering spirit of someone tied to the cemetery? Or was it just a trick of the light, a shadow, or an eerie coincidence? The answer remains unknown, but one thing is certain. This haunting image continues to spark debate and fear. On a warm August night at exactly 8:25 p.m., a trail camera deep in the Washington woods was triggered. But this time, It wasn't a deer or some small animal wandering by. It was something far more unsettling. The camera captured a pale figure draped in a white gown, clutching a bizarre-looking doll. Some speculated it might be a lost dementia patient, but with no missing person reports and no nearby roads, that theory quickly fell apart. So, what or who was out there in the darkness? While hiking through the stillness of the woods, a man stumbled upon something that sent a chill down his spine. A young girl in a blue dress darted past, running alone. But as he watched, something about her movements felt off. Instead of running as any child would, she seemed to hop, her strides unnatural and disjointed. When she slowed and turned toward him, her face made his stomach drop. It looked strange, almost otherworldly, as though it wasn't quite human. A deep unease washed over him. Was this truly a child? Or something far more sinister, perhaps a shapeshifter, or an animal cloaked in a human-like disguise? This user captured what seemed like an ordinary nighttime photo during a summer visit to Joshua Tree National Park. But days later, while reviewing the image, they noticed something eerie hidden within the tree's branches, were unsettling shapes or figures. Was it just a trick of the light, or something far more mysterious? Did you dare to watch it? If you did so and enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe.
Oh, no.
While camping and hunting in the great outdoors, a man captured a chilling photo of something strange lurking in the dark. In the middle of a vast open meadow, a faint blurry figure can be seen. Its details unclear, but its presence undeniable. Since then, speculation has run wild. Was it just an animal, something more sinister, or perhaps an optical illusion? One thing is certain, it looks as though something, or someone, was watching. Could it have been an owl? Or is there something more mysterious lurking out there? On March 3rd, 2023, in the quiet town of Mount Vernon, Georgia, a woman was casually snapping sunset photos of her brand new porch. At the time, everything seemed perfectly normal. But years later, while scrolling through those old pictures, her daughter spotted something bone-chilling, a shadowy figure standing silently on the porch. The home sits deep in Civil War territory, eerily nestled between two historic graveyards, Adams Cemetery and the Basil Connell Family Cemetery. Though there haven't been many reports of paranormal activity in the house, the woman admits to feeling unexplained cold spots from time to time. So, did she unknowingly capture a ghostly visitor from the past? During a carefree getaway in the woods, a group of friends snapped a cheerful photo inside their cozy cabin. But when the Polaroid developed, the mood shifted from fun to fear. In the background, just beyond the shadows of a dark doorway, two eerie hands appeared, reaching out as if trying to make their presence known. None of them had sensed anything unusual at the time, but after seeing that chilling detail, the thought of spending another night there became terrifying. While hiking through the Appalachian mountains, a man stumbled upon something dangerously close, and if he hadn't noticed it in time, things could have gone very wrong.
Everybody that's never been in the mountains here in the Appalachians, Appalachia, however you want to pronounce it, I'll show y'all something. Look, now look out through there. It looks safe to walk right through there, no problem, don't it? Check this out. I'm gonna walk. Just tell me when you see it. Tell me when you see it. You see it yet? Let's look. Right there in that stick. He's right there. There's his tail. There's his body. There's his head. Y'all be careful walking around these woods. And I work in it.
Right there, just off to the side, a timber rattlesnake. There's its tail, its body, and its head peeking out. That's one dangerous creature camouflaged perfectly in the brush. Timber rattlesnakes are no joke. They're highly venomous, and one bite can be fatal if you don't get medical help fast. Luckily, they're not looking for trouble and usually avoid humans, but if they feel threatened, they won't hesitate to strike. Stepping on one could have ended badly, but thanks to the hiker's sharp eyes and quick reflexes, he dodged a close call. Moral of the story? Always stay alert when you're in wild terrain like this. You never know what's lurking just out of sight. This old rural house was intentionally set on fire as part of a controlled burn supervised by the local fire department. Everything seemed to be going as planned, until the footage took a spine-chilling turn.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. It's like exploding. Hold your breath and go look. Just make sure you can get out because it's pretty cute. Did you look in the doorway?
Yeah, flames are coming out.
No, better not be.
Graham and Logan better be out there. We're out. Oh, I'm everybody. Oh, I'm everybody. Oh, I'm everybody. Yeah, hey, Graham and Logan, go get out.
Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Hey, the water's dripping off the house is hot.
As the flames devoured the structure and onlookers watched from a safe distance, a shadowy humanoid figure suddenly appeared in one of the rooms. The figure was only visible for a moment, but it was enough to send shivers down spines and set the internet ablaze with speculation. Was it the spirit of someone who once lived there? A ghost trapped in its final moments? Or is there a more rational explanation hiding behind the smoke and shadows? A Reddit user recently shared a seemingly innocent photo of his nephew enjoying a sunny day at the KMA boardwalk in Texas during a family trip. At first glance, it looked like a typical snapshot, just a happy kid soaking up the moment. But when viewers looked closer, something chilling stood out. Behind the boy was a dark, human-like figure uncannily similar in height and shape, almost as if it were mirroring him. Was it just a trick of motion blur? A camera glitch? Or could it be something far more unsettling? Something paranormal? A TikToker was filming at home when she heard a strange noise coming from downstairs. Curious and a little uneasy, she went to investigate. To her absolute shock, a bear had wandered into the house like it owned the place. It strolled straight into the kitchen, walked up to the fridge, opened it, and started casually browsing for snacks, completely unfazed by the stunned frozen humans nearby. Just when everyone thought the wild visitor was done, it suddenly stopped at the door, turned back around, and came back for a tortilla. The humans were terrified. The bear? Not even a little. While out camping with friends, TikTok user Khoas captured something straight out of a nightmare. It started with distant, bone-chilling screams echoing through the forest.
I don't know.
That was a fucking child screaming.
Joe, listen.
Or like a fucking woman or something. That was a female fucking screaming. Phil? Please, please, please.
Oh, fuck.
No.
It's not a fucking closer, man.
A female voice, panicked, desperate, cried out. The voice grew more frantic. They were deep in the middle of nowhere, miles from civilization, armed only with flashlights and one guy's revolver. Strange shapes emerged behind a steel target. Figures? Shadows? No one could tell. Then, something even more disturbing. As they crept deeper into the woods, they discovered bizarre objects hanging from the trees, like a warning or ritual.
Dude, we're in the fucking middle of nowhere.
Dude, that sounds like some haunted ass shit, dude. What happened to the other steel target?
There's two. Wait, what the fuck
There's one right there on the ground.
What the fuck is that?
It's on the ground.
Look. The fuck is what?
That right there. What the fuck is that?
Dude, that's not... No.
Please tell me you guys are fucking with me. Oh! No!
And just when they thought things couldn't get worse, it happened. Later, while reviewing the footage, one of them noticed something horrifying. A pale face peeking out from behind a tree. Some viewers thought it might have been an owl, but others were sure it was something else paranormal. A banshee? A wendigo? Weeks later, Kehoa said strange things started happening back home. A book flew off a shelf on its own. Lights flickered. Had something followed him back? In another chilling video, a group exploring the Indonesian woods at night stumbled on something just as terrifying. A figure, completely cloaked in red, standing eerily still between the trees. Not moving, not speaking. Was it a person? A prop? A ghost? Honestly, both possibilities are terrifying. And then, the video cuts to black. No explanation, no answers, only questions. While enjoying a peaceful night by the campfire, this person suddenly heard something eerie echoing from the darkness. Some swore it sounded like a baby crying. Others guessed it might have been a fox, or even a cougar. But one chilling comment stood out. It could have been a skinwalker, a shape-shifting creature known to mimic human voices to lure victims into the woods. To this day, the uploader still doesn't know what they heard. Hopefully, it was just a wild animal, and not something far worse. Two friends were driving through the mountains late at night, searching for a spot to camp. The road was dark, quiet, and empty until it wasn't. As they filmed the eerie path ahead, their camera picked up something they never expected. Out of nowhere, a tall figure in a flowing red robe appeared, standing perfectly still in the middle of the road. No movement, no sound, just watching. They were miles from the nearest town, deep in the wilderness. The figure was unnaturally tall, too tall, and its clothing didn't look like anything a normal person would wear out there. Rattled to their core, the guys sped off, putting as much distance as possible between them and whatever that was. To this day, they have no idea who or what they saw. While walking through Saladin, Iraq, someone spotted something unusual in the sky, which at first seemed like just another bird. But as they zoomed in, the image became much stranger. It wasn't a bird at all. It was a humanoid figure, complete with legs, eerily hovering in place like a drone. The enhanced footage ruled out the usual suspects. It wasn't a balloon, a drone, or anything we've ever seen before. It looked unmistakably like a person. Some viewers even claimed they could make out a jetpack. Even more bizarre, similar sightings have been reported across the globe. So what are these mysterious figures, and why are they showing up now? One quiet afternoon, Reddit user Queso Amore was driving home when something strange caught their eye. A face staring out from the window of an old, abandoned building. At first, they brushed it off as a leftover Halloween decoration until they took a photo. The moment the picture was snapped, the figure vanished. Disturbed but curious, they returned to the building 3 more times, hoping to catch another glimpse. But whatever or whoever they saw never appeared again. And here's the unnerving part. The window was positioned far too high for anyone to stand in it naturally, leaving behind an eerie, unanswered question that still gives people chills. While camping near a river, one Reddit user's friend snapped a chilling photo that they claim shows a ghostly figure. Cloaked in what looked like a robe, the figure reportedly moved swiftly and silently, details that made the encounter feel eerily supernatural. Even more unsettling? The friend had already seen the figure twice before finally capturing it on camera. While skeptics were quick to dismiss it, others couldn't help but be captivated. So, what do you think? Was it just a trick of the light, or did they catch a real ghost on film? While hiking through the wilds of Australia, someone looked up and spotted something strange streaking across the sky. A scud cloud. These eerie, ragged-looking formations often hover below massive storm systems, sometimes looking completely detached and racing ahead of the storm itself. They might seem like a sign of something dangerous, but don't let their creepy vibe fool you. Scud clouds are harmless. They're just a product of rising humidity and nearby thunderstorms. No severe weather, just nature showing off. In the early 1930s, deep in the remote wilderness of Alaska, a man set off on a routine trek toward a nearby lake. But along the way, something caught his eye, something unnatural. A bizarre, unidentifiable creature darted through the rugged terrain, unlike anything he'd ever seen. Heart-pounding, he gave chase, managing to snap a single photograph before it vanished into the wild. Living miles from the nearest town, he couldn't develop the film right away. It would sit untouched for nearly 4 months. And when he finally saw the image, what he had captured would haunt him for the rest of his life. Decades later, his grandson would inherit both the eerie photograph and the chilling story that came with it. And what he discovered might just send shivers down your spine. Around 5 a.m., a Reddit user's security camera picked up something downright chilling. The motion sensor was set off by what appears to be a ghostly figure gliding across the frame. Some Redditors swear it's a full-body apparition, while skeptics argue there's got to be a logical explanation. The footage is grainy and brief, just enough to spark debate. But really, what else could it be? If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Dare to Watch YouTube channel, where we have tons of videos just like this. And if you want to see our latest scary hiking encounters, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.